Hello everyone, this is your host Urvashi Chauhan. Welcome to Courts Today by Live Law, your one-step destination to all legal developments in the country. Let us start. Starting with an update from the Supreme Court, which today dismissed a petition seeking removal of Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal from the post and office of Chief Minister of Delhi because of his arrest by the Enforcement Directorate in the liquor policy case. Recently, the Delhi High Court has dismissed 3 such PILs. In one of such PIL, a writ of quo warranto was sought against Kejriwal to show by what authority, qualification and title he continued to hold the office of the Chief Minister of Delhi. It further sought the Aam Aadmi Party leader's dislodging from the office of CM after inquiry. But last month, the High Court dismissed this PIL while imposing a cost of 50,000 rupees. The court said that the plea was aimed at gaining publicity and that the petitioner pursued the petition despite being aware of previous orders passed by the court denying identical prayers. Today, during the hearing before the Supreme Court, the bench of Justices Sanjeev Khanna and Dipankar Datta said that the court was not inclined to interfere with the Delhi High Court's judgment dismissing the plea. The bench also pointed out that the petitioner who approached the Supreme Court was not the petitioner before the High Court. Also, in another case against Kejriwal, the Supreme Court today extended the stay on defamation proceedings against him for retweeting a video by YouTuber Dhruv Rathi making certain allegations against Bharatiya Janata Party IT cell. The matter was adjourned today after Kejriwal's counsel informed the court that after the last hearing, the parties could not get in touch to discuss settlement. The Delhi High Court has today rejected a plea seeking immediate action against Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other candidates for delivering allegedly hate speeches in violation of the Model Code of Conduct during the Lok Sabha polls. The plea referred to the PM's speeches delivered in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh last month. It also referred to the tweets made by BJP chief JP Nadda and a speech delivered by Union Minister Anurag Thakur in Himachal Pradesh last month. Advocate Nizam Pasha appeared for the petitioners and submitted that while the Election Commission of India had taken action by barring the chief of other political parties, no such action was taken in case of the Prime Minister. He asserted that ECI could not have different standards for taking action against different politicians. Advocate Suruchi Suri appeared for the Election Commission of India and referred to an advisory issued to all political parties on 1st March before announcing the elections. She further said that a reply was expected by the political party in question here by 15th May, after which the Election Commission would take action if required. Justice Sachin Datta rejected the plea, observing that the same was misconceived. The Supreme Court bench of Justices Sanjeev Khanna and Dipankar Datta today issued notice to the Enforcement Directorate on a petition filed by former Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren, challenging his arrest by the ED in a money laundering case related to an alleged land scam. Soren has filed the petition challenging the Jharkhand High Court's judgment, which dismissed his challenge to the ED arrest. At the outset, Justice Khanna asked Soren's lawyer, Senior Advocate Kapil Sibal, if Soren was in possession of the subject matter land in the case. Sibal asserted that Soren was not in possession of the land. Sibal added that the offence regarding forcible possession of land was not a scheduled offence under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Let me tell you here, proceedings under the PMLA can be initiated in relation to those offences only that are listed or scheduled under its first schedule. The Act basically targets the proceeds of these scheduled offences and provides the legal framework for investigating, prosecuting, and preventing money laundering activities associated with them. In this case, Soren was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate in connection with an alleged land scam in the state of Jharkhand. He was arrested in January this year. He is accused of being the primary beneficiary of fraudulently acquired land. After issuing notice, the bench had today initially posted the matter to week commencing from 20th May, but after much persuasion by Soren's counsel, the matter will now be heard on coming Friday, that is 17th May. His counsel, Senior Advocate Sibal, told the court that Soren was not concerned about not being able to come out of jail. There was no doubt that he would come out, but the question was about the timing. He also submitted that the interim bail order passed in favor of Arvind Kejriwal covered Soren's case also. In an important update, a plea has been filed before the Supreme Court seeking review of the judgment in EVM-VVPAT case, where the court had denied the prayer for 100% cross-verification of EVM data with voter verifiable paper audit trail, that is VVPAT. Last month, the bench of Justices Sanjeev Khanna and Dipankar Datta had issued two directions relating to sealing of symbol loading units and verification of 5% burnt memory microcontrollers per assembly constituency or assembly segment of the parliamentary constituency. Seeking review of this judgment, the petitioner claims that there are errors apparent in it. The petition argues that it is not correct to state that the result will be unreasonably delayed or the manpower required will be the double of that already deployed, and existing CCTV surveillance of counting halls would ensure that manipulation and mischief does not occur in VVPAT slip counting. In another update, the Supreme Court will hear this Friday, that is 17th May, the plea seeking directions to Election Commission of India to publish the absolute numbers of votes polled immediately after the elections. The Association for Democratic Reforms, that is ADR, has filed this application stating that in the ongoing Lok Sabha elections, the Election Commission published the voter turnout data of the phases after several days. The data regarding the first phase of polling held on April 19th was published after 11 days, and the second phase of polling held on 26th, the data relating to that was published after 4 days. Also, there was a variation of over 5% in the final voter turnout data from the initial data released on the polling day. ADR states that ECI's refusal to release the absolute number of votes polled, coupled with unreasonable delay in release of votes polled data, has led to apprehensions in the mind of the electorate. And in order to uphold the voters' confidence, it is necessary that the Election Commission be directed to disclose on its website scanned, legible copies of the account of votes recorded within 48 hours of the close of polling. The case was mentioned this morning by Advocate Prashant Bhushan before a bench of Justices Sanjeev Khanna and Dipankar Datta for urgent listing. Justice Khanna clarified that the matter would be taken up on Friday. The Supreme Court today issued notice to the Registrar General of the Himachal Pradesh High Court directing to furnish a report on whether the High Court Collegium reconsidered the names of two senior-most district judicial officers in accordance with the Supreme Court Collegium's recommendation of 4th January. The petition has been filed by two senior district judges, Chirag Bhanu Singh and Arvind Malhotra, contending that the High Court Collegium ignored their merit and seniority and also overlooked the recommendation of their names for elevation to the High Court from the service quota by the Collegium led by CJI Chandrachud. In their writ petition, they have sought a direction to the High Court to consider their names as per the Supreme Court Collegium's resolution. Being of the view that it was important to first get a complete view of the matter in terms of the facts and what the High Court Collegium pondered upon, the bench of Justices Rishikesh Roy and Prashant Kumar Mishra issued notice in the petition today. In another case, Justice Sanjeev Khanna of the Supreme Court today recused from hearing a matter. The matter relates to the case filed by former Delhi Minister Satendra Jain against the chairman of Governing Council of Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies, or VIPS. In view of the fact that Justice Khanna's son went to the same college, he recused from hearing the case and the matter was listed to July. This case revolves around an election petition filed by Dr. S.C. Vats, chairman of the Governing Council of VIPS, who challenged the election of former Delhi Minister Satendra Jain as MLA from Sakur Basti, Delhi in 2020. During the proceedings in that petition, Dr. Vats summoned an assistant electoral registration officer to produce certain documents as part of the case. However, Satendra Jain allegedly sought to examine the officer on matters beyond the summoned documents. Dr. Vats objected to this, saying that the officer was summoned only to produce documents and not to give oral evidence. The objections raised by Dr. Vats were sustained by the Joint Registrar of the Delhi High Court. Satyendra Jain appealed this decision, but the single bench of the High Court also ruled in Dr. Vats's favour. Aggrieved by this order, Satyendra Jain has now moved the top court to challenge the decision of the Delhi High Court. The Apex Court today directed the concerned authorities, including the Municipal Corporation of Delhi, to take immediate measures to prevent the increase of untreated municipal solid waste in Delhi and its surrounding areas. Until proper waste processing facilities are established, the court suggested measures like limiting construction activities. Previously, the court had flagged concerns regarding the non-treatment of 3,000 tons of municipal solid waste in Delhi and non-compliance with the solid waste management rules of 2016. In this respect, the court had issued a notice to the MCD. Senior advocate Menaka Guruswamy, representing MCD, informed the court today that a facility to deal with the excessive quantity of 3,800 tons of solid waste will come up only by June 2027. Hearing this, the court raised concerns that in 3 years, this waste will increase from 3,000 tons. The bench of Justice Abhay S. Oak and Justice Ujjal Bhuya observed that the generation of untreated solid waste in such huge quantities directly affects the fundamental rights of citizens under Article 21 of the Constitution to live in a pollution-free environment. The court also perused the affidavit of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, which showed the generation of solid waste per day was more than its processing capacity per day in the cities of Gurugram, Faridabad and Greater Noida. The court described the same as shocking and directed the Secretary of the Ministry to convene a meeting of all concerned authorities governing the said areas and to find a solution. In a similar update from the Delhi High Court, it has directed that no further felling of trees or removal of shrubs and other bushes shall take place in the central ridge in the national capital without the permission of the court. Justice Mani Pushkarna noted that despite the undertaking given by the forest officials, large-scale felling of trees, clearing of forest land and large-scale dumping of garbage in the central ridge was taking place. The court directed the Forest Department to submit an explanation as to how and in what manner the felling of trees and dumping of garbage and other waste materials has been allowed to take place in the central ridge. The concerned authorities have been directed to take action and remove all the garbage and waste material. This matter will now be heard on 24th May. In another update, a division bench comprising Acting Chief Justice Manmohan and Justice Manmeet P.S. Arora of the Delhi High Court today took note of the status report filed in a public interest litigation seeking construction of separate toilets for transgender persons. The PIL stated that the lack of such toilets makes transgender people prone to sexual assault and harassment. In its affidavit, the Delhi government has informed the Delhi High Court that 143 separate public toilets have been constructed in the national capital for transgender persons, that the construction of 223 such public toilets is in process, and for 30 more such toilets, the construction is yet to start. The Delhi government has also said that 1,584 toilets meant for persons with disabilities are designated for the use of transgender persons. The bench today closed the PIL in terms of the affidavit as well as the action taken reports filed by the North Delhi Municipal Corporation. On the request made by the petitioner, the court recorded that the government shall be bound by the statement and undertaking given in the status report and the action taken reports. And lastly, the Karnataka High Court has shed light on a crucial aspect relating to vehicle insurance claims. It reiterated that if an individual has already received full and final settlement from their vehicle insurance company for damages incurred, they cannot subsequently claim further payment for repairs from the insurance company of the offending vehicle. In this case, the claimant contended that the offending vehicle dashed his father's Omni van beyond repair, because of which he had to purchase a new car. His claim petition was, however, rejected by the tribunal. The High Court noted that the claimant claimed a sum of 1,41,000 towards property damage from the insurance company of the offending vehicle, whereas it was admitted that he received the entire amount towards damage of the property from his insurance company. A single judge bench of Justice Jyoti Mulimani dismissed the petition and agreed with the tribunal's decision. If you wish to know more details about the cases I mentioned here, you can visit our website at www.livelaw.in. Stay ahead with quick legal updates only on Live Law. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe and support us. You can also support us by donating through the thanks button at the bottom of our videos or consider becoming a member at just 89 rupees per month.